Labas vakaras, sveikinam savo seną bičiulį Davidą Lidingtoną, Europos reikalų ministrą iš Jungtinės Karalystės. Turėjom progos pasikalbėti, bet aišku, dar turėsim ir šiandien, ir rytoj. Lietuvą ir Jungtinė Karalystė sieja iš tikrųjų draugystė, tvirti ekonominiai ryšiai, beje, ir mūsų lietuvių bendruomenė yra gana skaitlinga ir aktyvi. Turim labai daug bendrumų, padėkoju už bendradarbiavimą Jungtinėse tautose, saugumo taryboje. Vienas iš artimiausių partnerių, turim tikrai labai tokį bendrą supratimą apie saugumo reikalus ir taip pat artėjantis NATO viršūnių susitikimas Varšuvoje. Mūsų bendras tikslas, kad tai būtų sėkmė. Be abejo, kad aptarėm ir Jungtinės Karalystės siūlymus dėl Europos Sąjungos reformos. Mes kalbame jau kurį laiką apie tai ir vis laukiam, aišku, daugiau ir konkretesnių tų pasiūlymų, bet esam iš tikrųjų pasiruošę diskutuoti, ieškotų sprendimų, kurie sustiprintų Europos Sąjungą. Aišku, sutinkam su kai kuriais netgi ir kvietimais pagerinti, sakysim, Europos Sąjungos konkurencingumą, mažinti reguliavimo naštą verslui, arba irgi kartu panagrinėti, kodėl yra toks plyšys tarp institucijų ir Europos piliečių. Mums daug kas suprantama, ką sako Jungtinė Karalystė, bet noriu pabrėžti, kad norim tai daryti kartu. Norim, kad Jungtinė Karalystė liktų Europos Sąjungoje, nes jos reikia ir Europai, ir Lietuvai, ir taip vertybiškai orientuotos partnerės mums iš tikrųjų reikia, sprendžiant regioninius klausimus ir tuos, kurie vyksta dabar Europoje, tos krizės, tai iš tikrųjų labai svarbu. Na, aišku, yra principai, kurių mes tikrai nežadam atsisakyti, tie esminiai principai, bet aš manau ir tenais galima rasti tikrai supratimą, kaip laisvas asmenų judėjimas, kad nebūtų diskriminacijos piliečių. Bet apskritai kalbant, mes tikrai labai dėkingi Jungtinei Karalystiai už bendradarbiavimą, už partnerystę ir už tuos bendrus darbus, kurių tikrai nemažai atlikom ir ateityje jų laukia turbūt dar daugiau.
Thank you very much. It's good to be back in Vilnius for my fourth visit to Lithuania as the United Kingdom's Minister for Europe, and I'm very much looking forward to speaking at the Sniego conference a bit later on and to listening to other contributors there. As Minister Linkevičius said, the United Kingdom and Lithuania have worked very closely and successfully together. And perhaps 25 years on, yesterday, from the events of 1991, from the heroic defence of the Parliament building and the broadcasting tower by the Lithuanian citizens, it's right to reflect on and to take enormous pride in the way that Lithuania and her two Baltic neighbours have now established themselves, perhaps I should say re-established themselves, as vibrant, successful, democratic countries that are truly part of the European family of nations. And it is important that we continue to work together in the face of challenges to democracy and to the rule of law, such as that which we have seen in Ukraine over the past 2 years following Russia's annexation of Crimea and continued interference in eastern Ukraine. And we stand squarely with Lithuania, both in defending the territorial integrity and independence and sovereignty of Ukraine, but also in upholding the rights and the freedom and security of all members of NATO. And that is why the United Kingdom has contributed towards the new force that's going to be stationed in the Baltics to provide what we term the persistent presence of NATO forces within this region of Europe. Lithuania's security is our security. And Article 5 of the NATO Treaty applies every bit as much to Lithuania and its territory as it does to every part of the United Kingdom itself. We also work together, as the Minister said, within the European Union. And we've had a constructive discussion again today about the proposals that my Prime Minister has put on the table for reform of the European Union. We believe that these reforms will help to make the British people feel more comfortable with their place in Europe than they do at present, but that also these reforms will help Europe as a whole. That in particular, a Europe that is better at creating jobs, at competing with the best in the world, at generating economic growth against the technological and global competitive challenges that all of our countries now face, is something that is very much in the interest of every European citizen. So it's good to be back here again, and I'm looking forward to an ever closer partnership between London and Vilnius as we look to the future. Thank you.
Mr. Lidington, ELTA News Agency, regarding the EU reforms. Of those 4 basic principles that your Prime Minister stated, which ones are most likely to be modified and how? And also, is it possible that London would change its position regarding the immigration requirements and social benefits?
I mean, we think we need a good outcome on all 4 of the measures that or the areas that we've put forward for negotiation. We think the proposals that we have put on the table are reasonable ones. We have said consistently that we want to listen to ideas that our partners may have about how to attain some of these objectives in other ways. As far as my Prime Minister is concerned, he's not challenging the basic right of freedom of movement for workers, but as you say, is focusing upon the point at which people can get access to the very generous system of in-work benefits in the United Kingdom when no contribution has previously been made by that claimant or their family. Our proposal remains on the table unless there is a better proposal that comes forward that it fixes the problem in a satisfactory way. But David Cameron's been absolutely clear that he's put some ideas forward for negotiation, but if his colleagues amongst the heads of state and government want to come forward with some alternative ways of addressing this issue, then he's very happy to sit down and discuss those.
Do you feel Britain is any closer towards achieving a compromise on the worker benefits proposal?
I think that there've been good discussions. I mean, they've not been without difficulty on all 4 of the issues. Although I think it's no secret that the issue of migration movement is the one where there's been the greatest difficulty, and it's very important that when we discuss this, that we're not doing so in a way that denigrates people from any European member state who have moved and who are working hard and paying taxes and doing good things in the country to which they have moved, including the many Lithuanians now working in the UK. But I do think that there's been some moves forward on all 4 of the issues, and I think we were encouraged by the fact that at the December European Council there was a declaration by all the heads there that they wanted to find a way forward. They wanted to see the British people vote for continued membership of the European Union, and there was a real sense of political will to try and find a satisfactory outcome on all 4 of the areas that were there for discussion.
How do you assess the current security situation in terms of Russia, because it described NATO as a strategic threat?
I think it's a matter of deep regret that the Kremlin has chosen to treat Europe as a strategic adversary and not a strategic partner, but I think that is the reality today. And the annexation of Crimea, in particular, did represent a major turning point. That marked a flagrant and fundamental breach of Helsinki principles, as well as the breach of a number of other international treaties to which Russia itself was a party. We cannot simply stand back and pretend that those events did not happen. I would much prefer that we had a constructive partnership with Russia. Russia in the past has contributed enormously to European civilization and culture. But I wish Russia would recognize that a democratic, stable, prosperous Ukraine, linked in through the association agreement, the free trade agreement with the European Union, would benefit Russian growth and standards of living in the same way that a prosperous, democratic, pluralistic Poland has benefited ordinary Russian people.